Hey everybody, so we've got a couple of restricted free agent signings to talk about that have happened over the last couple of days. Two of the best up-and-coming young defensemen in the league have been given bridge deals. But before we get to that, I just want to say if you're not yet a subscriber to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. As long as you're a fan of hockey and a fan of the NHL, there are videos here for you to enjoy. So please hit that subscribe button and follow the channel. So, here we go. Josh Morrissey and Darnell Nurse both have been given 2-year deals with their respective teams to bridge them. They were both restricted free agents this summer. Couldn't come to any long-term agreements, but have been given short-term deals to keep them in the lineup and with their respective teams. Morrissey in Winnipeg, this is a 2-year deal worth $3.15 million per year. Darnell Nurse in Edmonton, his is a 2-year deal worth $3.2 million per year. So, relatively the same money, both 2-year deals. Neither guy gets a long-term deal at this point, but certainly expect long-term deals for both these guys in the future. These are two of the best up-and-coming young defensemen in the league. They're very, very solid players already. I love Darnell Nurse. He's one of my favorite young defensemen in the league. He's physical. He's really solid defensively. He plays great in his own end. He has a little bit of offense. He's not an offensive guy, but he's not completely useless offensively. He does give you a little bit from the back end, but really he is focused on his own end and really playing well defensively. And I love watching him play. In Edmonton, where their defense is a big issue, he is a guy that they really need going forward. Josh Morrissey is another really, really good player in Winnipeg. He just gets better and better, and really, when Winnipeg, they have Morrissey and Trouba, and Trouba was really the big name. Although he's a little bit older, but Trouba was like gonna be the guy, and I think Morrissey actually has a higher ceiling than Trouba at this point, and could end up being the more important player for Winnipeg. So I'm a little surprised that neither one of these guys got a long-term deal done, given how good they are and how important they are to their teams. Now, in Winnipeg, we've seen them do this with Jacob Trouba, where they just string him along 1 and 2 years at a time with these short deals. I really don't think Winnipeg wants to get into that with Morrissey. They need to get this guy locked up when this contract ends, because again, I think Morrissey's going to end up being better than Jacob Trouba. So they really need to get him locked up the next chance that they get. But this works for now. It gets Morrissey there in camp, and it gets him signed for the next couple of years. Now in Edmonton, I am even more surprised that they didn't lock up Nurse long term, because Edmonton's defense is a huge problem, and I think Darnell Nurse is Edmonton's best defenseman at this point. He's just so solid and on a team with not a lot on the back end. So I'm a little surprised that Nurse did not get a long-term deal and big money from the Oilers. The Oilers, they're paying Connor McDavid $12.5 million a year. They've got Lucic's contract. They've got Draisaitl's contract. They've got, they're not full of cap space here. So at least what these deals do is it pushes off the big money another couple of years. So it gives both teams time to clear some cap space and make sure that they can afford to sign these guys long term a couple years down the road. Because right now, neither team is in great shape to be giving guys tons of money. Winnipeg's in a little bit better cap space than Edmonton, but they've got a lot of players to sign as well, and they have a lot of players signed under big contracts. Blake Wheeler just got a big deal. Dustin Byfuglien, Connor Hellebuck got a big deal. So you've got you've got to play the system money-wise as well, which I think is the main reason that these guys only got 2-year deals and got bridge contracts rather than being locked up already long-term. But certainly look for both of these guys to be locked up long-term in the future because they are very bright young defensemen. And if they don't get locked up in the future, look for them to be moved, although I don't think either one of these teams wants to move these particular players. Certainly, Winnipeg, I think, would move Trouba before they move Morrissey, and Edmonton is not going to be moving Darnell Nurse, I don't think. A team with that much trouble on the back end, when you get a good young defenseman, you don't move them. So I guess 2 years down the road, I'll be doing videos on Josh Morrissey and Darnell Nurse's long-term contracts with Winnipeg and Edmonton, unless something drastic changes between now and then, which it's 2 years, so it certainly could. But overall, I really like both of these players. I think they are very, very good young defensemen who are headed to be... I don't think either of them are going to be Norris Trophy superstar level guys, but I think they're both going to be very, very good, solid top 4 defensemen for their teams. So they both have a bright career ahead of them, and I expect much bigger contracts when these bridge deals come up and end, and both guys should get long-term deals after this. But for now, 2-year bridge contracts at a little over $3 million. So that's what I got on that. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media, check out offthewallhockey.com. All those links are down in the description below. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.